This is a good example of a question that scares a lot of people for no good reason. First of all, we're in the grid ends, but we're early on, so we know that this is kind of an easy to medium question. So it may look impossible, but the odds are very high that you do know what to do. And so our solution here, when things look kind of crazy, is just follow instructions. Just do what you're told. Just because you haven't seen a question like this before in school doesn't mean that you don't know how to do it. If you follow instructions, you might surprise yourself. So the first instruction is that we need to sum up these two terms. So here's a good example of just like, write them out. Don't take any chances. But we're going to add these two things up. And when we do, we're going to have a lot of like terms that we can combine, right? So again, we know how to do this. This has nothing to do with this specific question. We know if we have two things like this being summed, being added together, we would just combine like terms. So negative 2x squared and positive 3x squared is going to be just a regular old x squared. X and 7x is going to add up to 8x. And 31 minus 8 is going to be 23. Cool. Well, that looks more normal. I like that. I've seen those before. Now, what does it say? That sum, the thing we just got, can be written in the form ax squared plus bx plus c. Now, we could write it next to it, but I think it's a good example of just line things up, right? Make matches. Look for things that are similar and common, and don't think too hard about it, right? Well, this kind of looks like the same thing. So it's pretty clear that we have 23 as C, 8 as B, and then the harder thing might be figure out, well, what is A? Well, we do know that because we remember if we don't write anything in front of a variable, there's a 1 there. That doesn't need to be written out, but it's still there. So A is equal to 1. And now again, we have an instruction. A plus B plus C. So A plus B plus C is going to be 1 plus 8 plus 23. So 9 plus 23 is 32. And 32 is the answer. So yeah, I was never asked anything like this in school before. This is new to me in terms of like topics. I don't know where this would be in my math textbook from high school. But it's an SAT classic kind of question where they take something you know how to do, you know how to combine like terms, right? You know ax squared plus bx plus c, kinda, and they just mix it up and make it seem like it's something new, but the individual steps that we did to solve this are very basic algebra. So your best bet on a lot of these questions that look like they're impossible is to kind of forget the fact that it's new and focus on what isn't new, what seems familiar, and just kind of trust that you're going to get there. We don't need to know the last step when we start the first step. We were told to sum these things up, to add them up. Do it. Then see where it takes you. And that level of confidence, just confidence that you'll figure it out, is enough for like 50 points on the SAT. Just trying things that you'd normally give up on, you'd be surprised how many times you kind of just stumble upon an answer, and that is perfectly okay.